What if the god of religions, Christianity, Islam, Hindu, etc., was actually the devil and his greatest success was convincing millions of people that he was the one true God? This is the bad place. Jason figured it out? This one really hurts. Oof, yeah, this is a low one. Holy forking shirtballs, this thread is great. That's it, reboot. Snaps finger. Eleanor, come on in. You're in the good place. Hey there, Janet, I think this is yours. Chidi? What is that, a soup? I have no special regard for Satan, but I can at least claim that I have no prejudice against him. It may even be that I lean a little his way, on account of his not having a fair show. All religions issue Bibles against him, and say the most injurious things about him, but we never hear his side. We have none but evidence for the prosecution, and yet we have rendered the verdict. To my mind, this is irregular. It is un-English. It is un-American. It is French. Mark Twain. Wonder what does Mark Twain have against the French? He's referring to courts during the French Revolution, which were notorious for executing alleged traitors without proper evidence or trials. Also known as chop, 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 chop. You can make a religion out of this. No, don't. Hinduism doesn't really have the concept of the devil. There are evil spirits, but it's considered part of nature. Nor does Hinduism discount other gods. At its core, it believes all of those gods are connected to one universal spirit, but as a philosophy does not care what you call those gods. Braham right? All other gods are his manifestations, correct? Edit, as a Hindu I thought I knew everything there is to know about my religion. Apparently I don't. Yeah, Braham is the universe, everything in it, all of us, all the gods, we are merely facets of Braham. It's a tad more complicated than that still, but that's the gist of it. Cool. Thanks for the explanations. I vaguely remember my grandma telling me this when I was younger. That would be the position taken by the Gnostics. The Gnostics were considered so heretical that they were all but wiped out by Roman Christian Empire. Very little remains of what they were like or anything actually. God damn it, Roman Christian Empire. Duckers took my religion, can't have shit in Rome. Well, you know what they say, when in Rome. To the Romans. That's just historically true. Duck. Don't say that, you wouldn't want go wait the devil hear you. Or maybe you do. I'm not sure how it works anymore. Well, the Jewish, Christian, Islamic God is the same God. I got in trouble in Sunday school for making this same point. The Muslims will say exactly what you got in trouble for. The Christians will say the Jewish Christian God is the same. The Jews will say I don't know either of those guys. Actually, the Jews say that Muslim worship the same God as them while the Christian worship a dead Jewish man. Isn't the God of Christianity the one sending people into hell and punishing living humans with floods, plagues and more, while the devil only punishes the evil humans that died? Well, the Christian Satan isn't actually responsible for punishing anyone. He is punished alongside everyone. His job is to trick everyone into being evil so God can punish them. Fun fact, in the Bible, Satan is directly responsible for 10 deaths, while having a bet with God and so sanctioned by God. Meanwhile, Yahweh knocks off 2.4 million people without even considering the flood and other big kills. Hey, this is true in Islam too. Satan is a jinn who refused to kneel to Adam when God ordered angels to do so. Satan's mission later on became to trick Adam's descendants into doing bad deeds to go to hell alongside him. Why didn't God stop him, you say? I have no idea. I know that Islam recognized that evil can still lie within regardless of Satan interference. They call the self that calls for bad deeds. Thanks for correcting my mistake. Edited, jinn instead of angel. The reason is that the Satan believes he is superior and God doesn't, so he wagers that he can manipulate the humans to be evil and God says bring it on. There is a very vivid example of it in Quran. In the Bible and Quran there is a story in which a figure named Job is tested by Satan to see how much he can handle, and in Islam he is an inspiration of patience because of all that Satan put him through. Fun fact, the story of Job was adapted into a modern play titled God's Favorite by Neil Simon. And Daredevil Season 3. This idea is found within the Gospel of Judas. There are some pretty interesting YouTube videos on that topic. What? What part? The Gospel of Judah was written in the late 2nd century and claims Judah didn't betray Jesus but followed Jesus' order. Basically, according to the Gospel of Judas, the God who fashioned the world was not the one, but rather the demiurge or Socles. He only fashioned the material world by stealing the divinity granted to Aeon Sophia by the unknown God. Then, when he created Adam, he inadvertently imbued both him and Eva with the stolen divinity. The Gospel thus portrays the material world and subsequently its creator as evil, while the serpent who convinced Adam and Eva to bite from the tree of knowledge as a liberator. Edit, source, my interest in world mythology. It says that Nebro and Socles each created 6 angels and that Socles and his angels created Adam and Eve. Not that they were evil. The Gospel doesn't mention the snake. Unless something was missing from the translation I read, which I don't think. I'm just a Buddhist, so I probably don't belong here. But this enlightening. Hinduism doesn't really fall in with the one tri-God, as it is basically contrary in many fronts, mainly being polytheistic, so it's not like every god is bad or even capable of it. Depends on the school of Hinduism you subscribe to. Advaita Vedanta says that there is only one true God, Brahman, and the rest of the gods are manifestations of him. Hinduism isn't exactly one religion, it's more of a collection of philosophical schools. Edit, I see a lot of people getting caught up in the use of the word God. The term is used here as the word God is universally understood. Most people have never heard of the word Brahman and it means nothing to them. No one is going to go in depth explaining every aspect behind the philosophy of God to randos online who just want to fight about syntax. Yeah, that's the problem when people look at Hinduism. It's not a singular religion with multiple groups, rather, a collection of different viewpoints that happen to use the same similar namesbooks. What if God was just a group of intelligent people convincing not so intelligent people to do whatever they want? Are you suggesting that the concept of a belief system, based around servitude and an all-powerful entity, could be effectively used by a group of people with power and money, as a pacifier for people of lower status, who may not like to accept the hierarchy they have established? Like an opiate of sorts. For the masses? Interesting. Joke's on you. Hindus have 330 million gods and goddesses. One for each American. Shrek is the only true God. There is no devil in Hinduism. Neither is there one true God as Abrahamic religions understand. In fact, you are free to be atheist if you so wish, or follow your own understanding of the religion. That is the reason technically the most liberal and most conservative people can have wildly different religions and still be Hindu. This is kind of Catharism. The Cathars believe that the God who created the world, procreation, and the material world itself, were all evil. They lived in southern France in the Middle Ages and got a crusade declared on them, one of the more successful ones. They left behind some beautiful castles. This entire thread is Ratheism and 4chan levels of cancer. Kudos for him, I guess. Could be. Although Hinduism doesn't have a concept of one true God. At least as far as I know. If gods exist, they do whatever the duck they want. The concept of good and evil is for pacifying the unthinking mind. The God of Hinduism. That's why I'm not religious. Hinduism is polytheistic, no one true God to be found there unless you meant Sikhism. You really shouldn't, ask this here. Most Redditors are atheists, so you will probably not find a good discussion here tbh. Top 10 biggest anime plot twists of all time. Then he did a good job of turning me into a good person lol. This is exactly what the Gnostic Christians believed. Yahweh, the demiurge, is only the creator of the material universe, but is actually a lesser god and malevolent, jealous of Monad, the superior god and creator of all. The devil was actually a messenger of Monad, who gifted us knowledge, gnosis, of Yahweh's true nature and therefore salvation. Jesus was also a prophet of Monad, not the demiurge. But since Yahweh rules the material world and all the suffering that comes with it, we are under his thumb, and only by rejecting the material world do we subvert his efforts. The Matrix films are basically a Gnostic reimagining of Gnostic mythology.